never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Fine, I'm not.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. It's a Friday. Hopefully everybody is looking forward to the upcoming weekend. Today we're going to be talking some college football. This past Tuesday, Athlon Sports released their top 25 for the preseason as we head into the 2022 college football season. If you have seen this poll, please feel free to let me know. If you have not, we're fixing to talk a little bit about it. And as always, any thoughts on it, please feel free to let me know. The number one team in the country heading into the 2022 college football season, according to Athlon Sports, is Alabama. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Georgia. Number 4, Clemson. And number 5 is Texas A&M. I think just about everybody thinks the best 2 teams in the country are Alabama and Ohio State. And, of course, it's up to you for whatever order you want to put those 2 teams in. I actually did hear yesterday, coming home from work, that Georgia is picked to win 10.5 games this year. Of course, most teams have a win total of something and a half when Las Vegas releases their odds. That way, nobody can say, hey, they're going to win exactly that. You have to say either over or under. If it was exactly 10, exactly 11, you could say, hey, I'll pick that. But when it's 10.5, you've got to say over or under because you can't win a half a game. But I'm actually surprised it was 10.5 because I know Georgia lost a lot. But I believe their offense is going to be better than it was last year, but I don't think their defense is going to be as good as it was last year. But looking at their schedule, I just don't see 2 losses on the schedule. So honestly, I would have thought Las Vegas would have their odds at 11.5, because even if they lose to Oregon in the opening game of the season, which I don't think they will, but even if they do, I don't see another loss on that schedule. So I was surprised to hear that Vegas has Georgia with an over-under win total of 10.5. 6 through 10 is Michigan, Notre Dame, and then 8 through 10 is 3 Pac-12 teams in a row. We have the Utes of Utah at 8, USC at 9, and Oregon at 10. Number 11 is Baylor, 12, NC State, 13, Oklahoma, 14, Michigan State, and 15 is Cincinnati. And I'm actually hoping that Notre Dame and NC State are as good as they're supposed to be, good as they're picked to be, because Clemson not only plays NC State, but they also play Notre Dame in a non-conference game this year, so that will bolster Clemson's schedule even more if Notre Dame is a top 10 team and if NC State is a top 15 team. 16 through 20 is Wake Forest, Oklahoma State, Tennessee, Wisconsin, and Miami. And then we have Kentucky, Arkansas, Pittsburgh, Houston, and Penn State rounding out the top 25. Again, any thoughts on this list, please feel free to let me know. I'm actually surprised they have Utah as the highest ranked Pac 12 team. I do believe, my personal opinion is that Utah is the best team in the Pac 12. But Utah is one of those teams that, for whatever reason, just usually doesn't get any respect. So I'm surprised they're ranked that high just because they normally don't get that kind of respect. So it was good to see that. I'm also surprised to see Baylor that high, even though Baylor had a double-digit win season just last season. Baylor, just like Utah, normally doesn't get any respect. So I didn't figure they would be ranked that high, so I am surprised by that. I'm also surprised that Penn State is 25th. It seems like they're one of those teams that every year comes out ranked in the top 10, and then they'll go 8-4. So around 25 is about where they should be, but I didn't figure they would be that low. And a lot of people are talking about Clemson being ranked 4th. First of all, it's a preseason poll, so it doesn't mean anything. And second of all, they had a 10-win season last year, so it's not like they're coming off a 7-5 season. So even last year, when they were supposed to be in a down year, they were a top 15 team. And I think everybody believes that their defense is going to be just as good, if not better, than it was last year. If they can catch the football better this year than they did last year, and the offensive line can block, which they could not do at all last year, they've got a chance to be a top 5 team. If the offensive line still can't block and the receivers still can't catch, they will not be a top 5 team. But like I said earlier in the video, playing Notre Dame and playing NC State and playing Miami, that's 3 preseason top 20 teams right there. If those 3 teams end up finishing in the top 20 and Clemson beats all 3 of those teams, that's 3 key wins on their schedule. So coming out in the top 5, if you play 3 top 20 teams and you win all 3 of those games, unless you lose to somebody you shouldn't lose to along the way, you should stay ranked up in the top 7, top 8 all year long. But of course, a lot of people freak out about these polls. Either your team is too high, your team's disrespected, whatever, but it's preseason. They don't mean nothing. If you win, you'll rise. If you lose, you'll fall. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. At first, I thought my chiropractor wasn't any good. Now, I stand corrected. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.